Hip-hop hates old rappers. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapp to CLBMG. Join that membership gang. I don't know why hip-hop appears to hate. It hates its elders. And I have a few, I wrote down a few names just to bang the point home. But for some reason, you guys hate your elders. You hate hip-hop, older statesmen. And I'm going to tell you why. The first thing I know, you don't support them, right? I wrote down a bunch of names just so we can just have the conversation as to why I feel that way. Now, Will Smith just dropped, right? I'm going to start with Will Smith. And it didn't do well. Let's say that. I don't know the exact numbers, but by all metrics, it flopped bad. You may say, Challz, that's Will Smith. He slapped Chris Rock, da-da-da. Well, it ain't the only one. LL just dropped, arguably, in my opinion, the best album of his career. I think The Force was LL's best album of his career. You're going to say, no, what about Walking with the Panther? What about Pink Cookies in the Plastic Bag? That one, the one with I'm Bad, the one with Mama Said Knockout. You're going to name all these albums. None of them albums was solid from beginning to end. And you're talking to an LL Cool J fan. I went back, I went on a road trip and I went backwards. I said, I'm going to play all LL, da-da-da. And I went back through them albums, gang. I'm talking about probably 2 hours going through LL's catalog, and some of that stuff did not age well. I'm just going to be honest. It did not age well at all. And even at the time, some of that stuff wasn't great at the time. LL has some great hits, some classics. He's one of the greatest to do it. I would put him on my top 10 any day of the week. But his Force album was pure hip-hop, and you guys slept on it. He even went out and got, what's this girl? He got this, the female, the woman rapper. Can't remember her name off the top. Proclivities, right? He went and did a video, all that. You guys slept. He had Q-Tip doing all the beats. Everything you asked for, you guys slept on The Force. I don't think The Force made a dent in the charts. If any, as a matter of fact, no. The Force, there was only 2, maybe 3 rappers over 40 that put out albums that reached inside the top 100 of Billboard. That was LL Cool J. I believe I think he debuted at 50. I believe Eminem was the second one. He was number 1 on Billboard. And I think Freddie Gibbs may be the 3rd rapper over 40 that debuted in the Billboard. Now, I got a bunch of names. I'm going to read them all off. But I'm going to ask you guys why you aren't supporting. We're going to have a conversation, an open and honest conversation, because we got to figure this out. And I don't believe that it's their time. It's our time down here, their time up there. No, I don't believe it's the kids' time, because they're not really selling like that either. Let's just be honest. So it's not like these kids are blowing the older rappers out the water. No, they're selling more, yes, but they're not. They're doing 35,000, 40,000. You know what I'm saying? Nas could do that, right? And I think Nas may be I did it for the people who dropped last year. I didn't see Nas on the thing for last year. I think he dropped Magic. I'm not sure. But if Nas did drop, I don't know if Magic hit the charts or not, right? But I do know, as a matter of fact, it did. But that would be 4 out of all these names, over 40 rappers. Some of these rappers are pushing 60. And I want to have the discussion. For one, I know a lot of the people that watch my channel are older. I know you are. Some of the references I say that you know, there's no way you can know. I give a Teen Witch reference, and you guys will know that. You're like, Top Dad, you guys will know what it is. So I know you're over 40. I know, you know what I'm saying? I think what was the reference I put in there yesterday? Old reference. You guys get these references, gang. That's why I don't care. I say these weird-ass references, and you get them. So I know that I got a fan base that is. I get 18-year-olds too who want to learn about hip hop. But I know you guys know most of these people. This list is wide ranging, right? So I want to ask you again. You're not supporting. Why? So here we go. MC Light, Consequence, right? Consequence is over 40. Sheik, Luch, and I think most of these guys are 44, 45. Some of these guys are 50 plus, right? But we're gonna have the conversation. Fat Joe dropped. DMX dropped, which is arguably, they dropped some, he had already passed. That was probably DMX's worst album. I think he only got 2 albums that's as bad as that last one that they dropped. It was not good, and I understand. So if you say I didn't support that, okay, fine, I get it. All right, let me continue. The East Siders, y'all remember the East Siders? They dropped. Did you know they dropped last year? Lloyd Banks dropped last year. Freddie Gibbs. I rock with Freddie. Freddie, one of the only ones on here that you could say gets enough of love, but he seems like Freddie almost seems timeless. He doesn't seem like he is dated or aged in the same bracket as these other guys. But Sky Zoo, right? Terminology. I didn't even know Term was over 40, but Term is over 40. Bumpy Knuckles dropped last year. Master Ace and Marco Polo. Did you peep the Master Ace album? Right? If you know who he is. French Montana, who's over 40 if I'm not mistaken. Meek Mill. Lil Flip dropped. None of these albums really did all that well. Just gonna be honest with you. Young Noble used to be with the Outlaws, Tupac and da. Young Noble, and I'd be embarrassed. I don't know what y'all would do with Pac if he was still alive. Everybody missed Pac, this, that, and the third. I don't know if y'all would be rocking with his music right now. Y'all probably be like, oh yeah, the new Pac dropped. Yeah, did you hear it? No, did you? No. Zero dropped. Will Smith dropped. Like I said earlier, Will Smith, the album didn't do well. Right? Some people might say, because it's corny, because it's whack, whatever. Apathy, right? Brother Ali, Slum Village dropped. Spice One dropped. Remember the trigger has no heart. Like Spice One dropped. Juicy J dropped. Brother Lynch Hung dropped. Did you know that? Like, I'm all over the place because all these people are people that I know from back in the day and they still doing music. Belly, Ghostface dropped. Conway dropped. T-Pain dropped. He dropped with some other dudes. Dog Pound dropped. Snoop Dogg dropped. Slim Thug dropped. RGD2. Crazy Bone and Lazy Bone both dropped last year, right? And we ain't been that far into this year for you to be saying last year is a long time ago. It wasn't that long ago. So these albums are stuff you can pick up. The Beat Miners, Esham, Vinny Paz, Crooked Eye, Joel Ortiz, Capadonna. I know Capadonna got the worst covers in the history of hip-hop. His covers, I don't know what's going on with these Capadonna record covers. They be going viral for being awful. And I get that. But you could still put it in, right? You could put it in. Every other day, my whole dress code switch. You could put some Cap on, right? Common and Pete Rock, which to me, very good album. I listened to that Common and Pete Rock. I saw a bunch of you guys critiquing that Common and Pete Rock album, saying he wasn't sharp enough and it was too soft. So I don't know what y'all was saying. I like that album. Now, am I spending a lot? No, but I don't spend nothing a lot. I spend certain things and I keep it at that because I be doing so much stuff. I don't have time for a lot of music. But I did think that Common and Pete Rock album was good. Rockim dropped. Rockim is over 50. Rockim might be 56, 57 years old. I thought, now let me just give you real quick on that Rockim album. I thought it started off really well. He only got like 10 songs or less. I think maybe between 7 and, it might be 7 songs. Like it's a short album. And he did the production. It started off strong. I think he just to me, first of all, he only doing like one verse on every song. The rest is all features. They're good features. It's great. Everything is good. But all of the features, it's almost like he only wanted to do one verse and then let the features talk, which I think may have hindered the album a little bit. And a lot of people didn't give it the credit it deserved. But I thought Rockim put a solid album out. Y'all didn't support it. He dropped a video and all that. Like it was a great album. He had some great features on there. I believe Corrupt is on there. Like a lot. I think Exhibit might be on. I'm not sure if it's Exhibit, but it's a lot of heavy features on there. And you guys slept on that Rockim album. And yes, I'm calling you out. I'm just gonna be honest. Some of you heard it, but a lot of you didn't hear it. Graph dropped. Killer Mike dropped. Killer Mike won the Grammy, right, for his album. Killer Mike might be one of the few out of them ones that actually went over the top. Killer Mike was the third or the fifth one. I would say Killer Mike, Eminem, LL Cool J, Freddie Gibbs, and I can't remember the last person I said, and Killer Mike. X-Rated dropped. Did y'all peep that? Talib Kweli dropped. And Currency dropped. And I know I missed a bunch of more names, but that's enough names to just get the message across that why are we sleeping? Do we not? Is it true that we don't? I'm going to talk to the elder people first. That we don't look for new stuff no more. We're still busy playing our Billy Ocean and our Rock Me Tonight, right? We're still playing our Freddie Jackson and Nita Baker. Like you still getting in your car. You're putting on Tina Marie and Rick James. Great music, but we got some stuff that's still popping right now, right? You're still putting on your Skinny Boys, right? You still listening to all that Skinny Boys and Fat Boys. And by the way, I'm just gonna be honest. I went back and I did a little run of Fat Boys music. And I was like, what the hell was we think? Like, I love the Fat Boys in theory, right? But their music was awful. And Fat Boys have about 2 real records that we can conclude this hip hop. They did a lot. They was pioneers, and we saw all you can eat, right? I love it, da da da. But Fat Boys have some terrible. They got some terrible music. But I digress. I just wanted to get that off real quick. But we got some good rappers putting out quality music, and people aren't listening. Now, I'm not gonna say nobody's listening, but they're not getting the shine. And what we telling people all the time: go independent, control your destiny, put your music out yourself. You can do it, da da da. And they are doing it, and then maybe they're happy with the results, and that's fine. As long as they're happy, I'm happy. But at the same time, it feels like hip hop don't support them. Right? It's like hip hop wants to say, oh, this is a young man's game, but y'all ain't really supporting the young kids either. And the young kids ain't making enough music that's worthy of support. I'm just gonna be honest. Some of that shit is trash. Some of that, they ain't even writing their raps in the studio like, oh, I just go in the booth and I vibe out. You know, they're not putting pen to paper. They don't care about your lyrical prowess that you talking all this nonsense. These kids are just like, yo, I feel yeah. They gonna make a whole song up in 15 minutes. All right, punch me in right there. They don't care, gang. But we're supposed to say, yeah, this is nice. We want to hear more of your story. Like, they're not telling no story. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can't support the elders because for some reason, the music ain't hitting like it used to be. Fine. Maybe they're out of their lane. Maybe you don't want to hear old man, you know what I'm saying, talking about going down the block with a book bag with a Tech 9 in it. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, everybody's not rapping about that. That's why Andre 3000 scared to come back. He's like, man, I'm 40 years old. What am I rap about? Which is a mistake to me. I don't think nobody loses their voice because they're 40. I think all of us, we still spit. I still spit. We making top quality music. But at the same time, if you're in it for real support, you're not going to get that. You're going to get a niche fan base unless you're touring like you're Tech 9 and you're all over the place. But Tech 9 been doing this for 20 years. You got at a high level. And it seemed like if you didn't pop back then, you're not going to pop right now. But a lot of people saying MC Lyte album was great. Right? Did y'all support MC Lyte album? So it's like there's and she says she only stepped back out into the arena because of LL Cool J. He pep talked. He's like, listen, Queen, do what you do. You know who you are. You're MC Lyte. LL pep talked MC Lyte back into doing her thing, and the product, people like it. A lot of people like what MC Lyte doing. So why do we, and I'm using the word hate loosely because you're almost indifferent. I can't even say it's hate. It's almost indifference to, okay, Brother Lynch Hunt came out, da-da-da. And maybe these people never really had such a big name, da-da-da. But at the same time, we can support. You can share. I try to share a lot. If you go on my thing, I just shared Lords of the Undergrounds and Snow Goons. They just dropped the album. I shared it. All right. I can't just sit all day and share everything, but I try to share when I listen to something I like, I'll share it. I listen to Benny the Butcher, I'll share it. I listen to Conway, I'll share it. 38 Special. Stuff I like, I'll share it. I was all up and down about The Force. Like The Force may be LL's best album. Da-da-da. I always try to give a little shine to these elders because I know it's hard for them to get it. Right? And if we put no thought, like I think it's like a passing thought when you hear about these albums. Only one that's really gonna do consistent numbers is Eminem. He consisted his fan base, and all the hate he get is irrelevant because a lot of you dudes, you'll hate on M and then go say your favorite rapper is XYZ. Don't even know that your favorite rapper, so-called favorite rapper, just dropped the album last week. You ain't even checking for it. You know what I mean? So it's like, what we doing? Like you hate this guy, hate that guy, but then your guy comes out, you ain't supporting him either. Right? You going to put on your old Stone Temple Pilots CD, like you're doing some old shit. Like, gang, people still got a voice in this. I don't know if Tupac and Biggie was still around, how much support they will really be getting for their rapping. Right? Maybe rap itself is just getting, maybe the genre itself needs a injection. Because y'all only listening right now to Kendrick, and y'all listening to Drake to hear if it flop or not. Y'all not even paying attention outside of that circle. Ransom just dropped. I just listened to, who was it? Ransom and Dave East. I listened to that. I listened to Larry June and damn, what's my guy name? Larry June just did a joint with my guy. Oh, damn, Teddy Boy. I can't remember his rap name. You know what I'm talking about. They got a joint, so it's a lot of joints out here to listen to. If you're checking for hip hop, you're gonna find it, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm watching the game kind of move along. I don't think that it needs to move along without the core of it, right? KRS-One dropped the album, and I'm just gonna be honest, I liked it. Out of the last two, the one before this one, I loved it. The one he dropped right now, I didn't really, not right now, but he dropped one about a year ago, and I didn't really jive with that one. I'm just gonna be honest. I thought the beats were a little subpar, and that's maybe let's talk about that. Maybe the legends or the elders are picking subpar beats, because a lot of people were saying, I listened to Will Smith joint and I just couldn't get past like track 5, 6. A lot of people saying that the beats were subpar on the whole thing. It was like, it's okay, but his flow wasn't locked in and the beats weren't locked in. So maybe that's it. Maybe we expect these elders to have these wonky kind of wah-wah kind of albums and da-da-da. I listened to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, that much vaunted new Snoop Dogg album where it's supposed to be Snoop and Dre are back together, but it was really Dre doing all the beats and Snoop doing the rapping. And I'm just going to be honest, it sounded a little like they was out of touch. I'm just going to be honest. So maybe that's it. Maybe people are like, man, these old heads are out of touch. I don't want to hear this stuff. Like, they're not taking chances. They're trying to do the formulas that they already did. And for the first time in my life, I felt like Dre sounded like a formula. Some of them songs on there, they didn't resonate. I'm like, this is not hip-hop today at all. Like, I was like, I don't know what they doing on this, but this ain't hip-hop today. Ice Cube's last album, I know a lot of people like, that shit was dope. Some people like it was dope. I felt it. I said, Cube is mailing this in. Cube is just such a good rapper that he can just write some shit and make it into a song. The cover made you think you were getting something really, really great. But when I put it in, it felt like Cube was regurgitating the third and fourth, fifth song in a row of the same topics and I'm like, this is not the Cube. This is not the top 5 Cube, because Cube is in my top 10 all time. And I listened to that Cube album. It wasn't stretching the genre. It's like he was trying to conform into it. Like, I'm gonna show these young boys I'm Cube, da-da-da. That's not what we pick up Ice Cube album for. So maybe the older gentlemen have to actually bring something new to the table. Maybe they got to step their game up. Maybe that's why we're not checking for them. But we'll never know if we don't listen, right? Cube album got built up and then it went down. I don't know. It just bong bong, right? So hip-hop it's just like back in the day when the Source had all these albums. We're dropping a high amount of albums, gang. Like, we're dropping a high amount of albums. Right now it's hard to see through the noise. But at the same time, you could have listened to that Ice Cube album. You could have listened to that Snoop Dogg album, right? It's stuff you could check on. You could have listened to that Crazy Bone album and the Lazy Bone album. You could have put that on repeat the same way you're doing this other stuff, trying to get this other stuff, the number 1 and number 2 and all that. Throw one of these old heads on. They still got something to say. I think there's something in there for everybody. And Brother Ali still spitting at a high level. Apathy and these different guys, they're spitting at a high level if you're in the spitters. Depends on what you're into. But these old guys, some of these guys could do better, right? Some of these guys could do better. But are they even getting a chance to want to do better? Because that studio stuff take time and money, right? And I'm telling you right now, Exhibit, I should have had him on the list. Exhibit, I like what I'm hearing from him. So yes, Exhibit is one of the ones doing that at a high level that you should be checking out and listening to. Hieroglyphics never stopped. Casual never stopped, right? So it's a high culture of elder statesmen rappers that you could be checking out. And I know I used the word hate, but I used it loosely. Because almost it's in an indifference thing. And I think we need to check ourselves as hip-hop heads. Yo, am I giving hip-hop a chance? Back in the day, you snatched up everything. You getting these little cassettes with, you know what I'm saying? You buying all this stuff because you just want to hear it. Now you can just plug it in on your phone and play it on your way to work. And are you doing that? No, you're playing some old ass, you know what I'm saying? You're going backwards. You're playing some old ass Tony Braxton from 25 years ago. Like, yo, gang, you can still do what we do, right? You still trying to play brand new heavies and jazzmatazz for guru old shit like old ass Gangstar and shit like, gang. We still here. Some of them people got children that's rapping. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to keep this thing alive, I don't think it's going to stay alive with a bunch of 20-year-olds running around doing drill rap all day. I don't think hip hop going to survive like that. So all I made this video for was to remind you, old heads out here, maybe they need to work on some stuff. Let them know. Let them know in the comments, da-da-da. But like I said, LL, to me, is an older statesman that put in work. With this last album, The Force, that was a well-rounded, complete hip-hop album, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. How do you feel about these older statesmen rapping and doing these albums? Should they quit? Be honest, say it in it. They should just quit. I don't feel like nobody should quit. I feel like you should rap until you sound trash. And some of these guys can still spit. So I don't think Snoop can't spit. I just think some of the stuff sounded dated on there. I don't think Will Smith can't spit. Some of the stuff sounded dated. And I think if these guys get more interest in their music, then maybe they will step the game up. Let me know what you think. Black-Yeti.com. Head over there. Make sure you see what they got going on. They're the sponsors of the What Show and my show, Talking Facts. Make sure you head on over there. And also the merchandise is under there. I'm just going to be honest. Merchandise is under the video. Pick up something. You know what I mean? And every Wednesday night we go live. And I'm about to start another live, just me, because I want to talk about a lot of stuff and just, you know what I'm saying, just get it in and just convo with you guys, all right? So I'm about to start another live, just depending on what night it's going to be. Or I might just do random nights, you know what I'm saying? But stay tuned for that. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.